have a question. Um,
Yes.
so I met with another EXP realtor who says, "Oh, I've got a referral for you, but it's not for another 3 years." So she says it's coming down the line because the guy wants to retire, but he's not ready to retire now. And I said, "Oh, it'd be great if we can at least make contact so that I can help him strategize a successful, exit strategy and
Yeah.
improve his valuation." So my question is, do I just give all that away for free and hope that he will come back? Or is there or would I sign a representation form saying I will give you this, but that you promise to use me as your broker? Like how do you deal with that?
Mhm. So first of all, yeah, if you're going to help somebody with exit planning, that's really a consulting agreement. Yeah, you don't want to you're they're not ready to have a representation agreement signed. You're not ready to put their business on the market, and nor does either party want to. So it's really more of a consulting. If you're helping them prepare an exit plan, then you need to have background in that or get some knowledge in that. But yeah, that would be done under a consulting agreement. Same with business growth. If you are um, working with some of the systems out there that are are available to help businesses grow their business and create stability in cash flow and so forth, those are all good. Help prepare their business for sale. All of that is great. But yeah, all of that would be done under a consulting agreement, not a representation agreement.
And what would be a reasonable fee to ask for that, and how many meetings does that usually, do you like just send them a map, or do you get their paper, get their finances and then go through the weeds and say, oh, you can tweak this and tweak that? Like how would you go about it?
So it really depends on what they're wanting to do. So in terms of exit planning, I mean, I do a 90-day program, which works for most people or for most smaller businesses. For larger businesses, it's a little more extensive, or if they have multiple partners, because not every partner wants to exit in the same way at the same time. And so now you're dealing with multiple, moving parts. Um, as far as fees go, it's like anything else. It's negotiable. It's whatever makes sense. And based on your background, your experience. So there may be some people who have a lot of business background and feel like because of their experience, that they are fine with charging higher fees. Or maybe somebody who is a little newer but has good background business wise and is working through some type of a program that they subscribe to. So it just depends. I mean, there's too many variables. And what does the business owner want? Are they looking for weekly meetings with with a coach, almost like a coaching program? Are they looking for to just build an exit plan? Then they want to implement it with their other advisors, and they only want you to check in with them once a month. So I think everything has to be tailored towards a specific business owner and whatever their needs are. And you don't really know without getting into, you got to take a deeper dive with them into what their needs are. What is their, in terms of universal needs, what's their time frame? When do they want to be out? Have they already identified who would be an appropriate buyer? If they want to sell, if their objective and their goal is to sell to an inside manager or their kid, the next generation, something like that, you need to know that up front, because that's a different plan that needs to come together. So and also, do they have a target price in mind? What do they feel like they need in order to make it selling the business worthwhile? Because if they're trying to hit a specific target, that may affect your time frame. Because if they say, well, you know, my time frame is 2 years and I want $10 million for my business, but right now their business is only worth 2 million. The odds of it getting to 10 million in 2 years are probably pretty low, unless they are willing to do quite a bit. And so, you know, those are some factors that then it's another conversation. It's like, well, you know, what steps can you take to grow the business that quickly? Do you have capital? Because anytime you're growing a business fast, it requires a tremendous amount of working capital.
Yeah.
And if they don't have that capital available, they're not going to be able to hit the growth that they're wanting to. And therefore, they're probably not going to hit the target that they want either. So it's just a lot of factors that go into that. And there's no really cookie cutter, one size fits all answer. Sorry.
Thank you.
Does consulting like that have to go through EXP or through a brokerage, or is that different?
Well, that is not licensed activity. So I don't believe that that has anything to do with licensed activity. Unless you're using, you know, if you're using EXP resources for it, then perhaps it should go through EXP. But if you're not, then I don't see any reason personally why it should, because that they're not providing anything and it's not licensed activity. So